Do you remember your first song or what you were rapping about back then?
Mm, yeah, I was like in a group. It was like it was probably like '06, '05, around that time. I was in a group like back in the Midwest with somebody. And yeah, we had this like little club song and actually did pretty good in the clubs in around St. Louis area. We pushed it like with this promo team and all the DJs got a hold of it, started spinning. It was called Here Kitty Kitty. I used to go by the name Playboy back in the day, Playboy and Sonny, that was the group. But that was when I was like real young, So,
This, go ahead.
no, I was saying that's just like when I was just real young. That was back in the day. I was like 17 years old.
This was a duo.
Yeah, I was in this duo group a long time ago.
Why doesn't the duo exist anymore?
I mean, just niggas got older, you know what I'm saying? Like he moved to Texas. I mean, we still cool, talk time to time, but just timing, you know what I'm saying? And time, I got my own life, he got his own life, and he kind of grew out of the music scene. He got more into hosting and stuff and being on more like the Dallas, Texas scene and stuff. But we still cool though. That's my boy for life. You know what I mean?
So, just for clarification, was it a mutual decision to disband or did one person leave first, so to
Not
speak?
it was a mutual thing. I mean, he kind of like I said, he moved. I moved down here to Atlanta full time, and it was just like a mutual thing. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, ain't no bad blood or nothing.
Not biologically related to each other?
Nah, that's just my boy from high school.
Now, what was that song about?
Here, kitty, kitty, lady scream if your pussy clean. Like it was just, it was a raunchy, little freaky song in the club, but the girls liked it. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I just wish I had like, cause we used to have a lot. I used to have a lot of footage on YouTube back then, and like we performed it around St. Louis, and like it was doing good. It never caught radio, but we got a lot of good club promotion behind it and spins.
Were any of those lyrics on that song true back then?
Uh, I don't remember all the lyrics to be honest with you, but I 9 times out of 10 I rapped about the experiences I did, so it was true.
Now, how was that song released back then?
Back then, '06, it was we pressed up CDs. I can tell you that. We definitely like passed out CDs after the club. We had like a little promo team that we used sometimes, and as people was leaving, we hit the cars, hit the people hand to hand. So yeah, that was back then, man. Like it's not like digital. It was more physical. You know what I'm saying?
Is that song digitally available though if people wanted to hear it?
I mean, you could probably Google like Playboy with an I, Playboy and A-N-D, Sonny, Sony. Uh, Here, kitty, kitty. It might be. It might be on Reverb Nation, but that was a long time ago. Like, people gonna be like, dang, that was him. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause it's just that bubblegum type rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, just that generic bubblegum type rap. That little club music.
Did your parents hear this song back then?
Yeah, my mom's did.
What was her
Yeah.
reaction?
I mean, she always supported me. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mama always supported everything that I do in life. You know what I'm saying? So she liked it. You know what I'm saying?
What about those lyrics on that particular song?
She thought it was a little. She thought it was a little nasty. She might have just laughed about it, but she didn't like get too like serious with it or technical.
Even though you were 17 at the time?
Yeah, I mean, I was becoming a young man.
Now, for time reference, it's August 2021,
hmm
but what's your creative process like these days?
I mean, I record myself. I got a whole setup on my Mac. I got a Universal Apollo that I use, and I was taught like by a real good engineer how to record myself because I had a studio in L.A. like 2017. Uh, I still I still live in L.A., so I'll be back and forth. So I just got taught on how to record myself, and so I was always locked in the studio, and I just lock in and kind of just get in my zone. If I hear a beat, I kind of just go with it. I really don't write stuff down. I might write a little bit in notepads here and there. You might get a little drink and a couple little hits of weed, and I'm good. You know what I'm saying? If I like it, I'm vibing out with it, and we just I'm doing the hook, and the next thing you know, If it's a good hook, I'm flowing with the verse.
And speaking of some sort of liquid here, are we talking lean or are we talking liquor?
Nah, liquor.
Okay.
I ain't no drink sipper. I tried that shit one time, man. That had me. I was gone like a zombie. That's all I can say. That ain't for me.
This studio in Los Angeles that you're referencing here in the interview, this was a studio that was open to the public you had, or was this a private studio just for
No, it was
you?
open to the public. I mean, I went in on it with like 2 other people, and we paid rent in North Hollywood at like a little studio building, and I mean, we rented it out to a few people. I think I recall Jay Crit, the dude. He's from New York. He a rapper. He's been there. A few more people's been there. It was back in 2017. So, like I said, I went in on it with 2 other people, and yeah, and I had it for like a year. Just learned a lot of stuff. Got creative. You know, like I said, I learned to record myself, and I had the whole, you know, just whole feel and vibe of locking in. You know, without being hassled by like an engineer that, you know, when you go to the studio and you pay for studio time at a public studio, you know, you go to Patchwork and you paying all this money, you know what I'm saying? Like you on for the hour. There, I just feel like, you know what I'm saying, when you have and you learn how to record yourself, that's like an important aspect. You can just be free and you ain't on a time basis, you know, you can just be real creative and you know, I think that's the best. That's what I really recommend any artist to do is always learn how to record yourself because, like I said, you ain't gonna be pushed for time and you can get the best out of you and always work on your craft.
Why did that business end?
I just kind of had some of my differences with the people I went in on with, and yeah, we just didn't see eye to eye no more, so we didn't renew the lease. A couple of them moved back, you know, where they was from, and yeah, that was that. We just kind of went our own separate ways. You feel me?
The time that you did have that business, was that a profitable business?
We
Owning a studio,
yeah,
renting it out to people?
yeah. I mean, we kind of. I ain't gonna lie, it wasn't crazy profitable, but it paid the rent, and the most important thing of all is it taught me how to do what I needed to do, to take that skill and apply it, you know, and run with it. And, you know, and then now I got my whole setup and my Mac. I can be anywhere, any hotel, any state, and plug right in. The skills I learned from having that studio, I can just apply it to wherever I'm at. So, I mean, it wasn't crazy profitable, like I said. We just kind of broke even, and we was just learning how to, you know, manage studio blocks. And I think it was more about the experience, you know, and learning some management.
Aside from the experience and some knowledge that you gained there, just that business of owning a studio, would you ever do that again?
Uh, it's
Taking the experience and the knowledge out of it, just the business side of things of owning a studio, would you ever attempt that again?
I think I would in the future. Maybe not right now per se, because I got a lot of other stuff going on. But if I had, you know, I mean, I got a few people in mind that I think that I could go in on it with. It's very business mind like, and you know, I think we can make it work. So that's something that's definitely like, I mean, I could look forward to in the future for sure.
Now, when it comes to writing or freestyling and punching in, it sounds like in this discussion, you're more of a freestyle punching in type of person.
Yeah.
Occasionally, or once in a while, I don't know how to phrase it there, you do write though.
Yeah, I mean, I write my notepad on the phone.
What were you like from the very beginning though? Were you a writer at first or you were freestyle
Yeah, I was a
punching in?
writer when I was young. Like my boy really that I was in the group with, I mentioned earlier, he showed me how to like count bars, you know, and segments, and I used to have a whole notepad and really write that shit straight out, you know what I'm saying, on a notepad, and you know, just do 8 bars, or if the song's 12 bars or 16. But back then, a lot of people wrote 16s. Like 16s was bigger in. The song was longer, you know. Nowadays, like, you know, people do 8s, you know, 8s to 12s, like kind of the norm. So yeah, back then I was handwriting 16s. He pretty much showed me how to kind of like, you know, get my first, you know, foot in the water about as far as rapping. You know what I'm saying?
So how'd you become a freestyler punching in and going that route? Was that more influence or was that just natural experimentation?
Natural experimentation, like I said, after I got the studio and, just hearing the beats and just going with the flow and the vibe, it just kind of just came naturally. Once I'm the type of person, like once I hear a fire beat and, and I'm just vibing to it and I come up with the hook, everything else just comes together naturally.
What do you notice when you write versus when you freestyle punch in? As far as musically.
Musically.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I write, I can think way, way, way more. I'm already creative with the freestyling, but I can just think of better, probably like better punchlines and just better things that like people be like, damn, like that went together, like that's hard. You know what I'm saying? Versus like, when you just going with the flow and stuff like that, it could be a good song. I just look at things like as long as it's a good song, got a good beat and the hook, and the verses come flow, and at the end of the day, like, people can vibe with it. It's a big market out here. People like different things, So when it comes down to, like I said, the difference, like I said, when I really thought about it and wrote it down, I could come up with maybe some better punchlines. That's about it. But creativeness overall stays the same.
Now, because you do freestyle and punch in more than you write, how do you decide when you do write? When is that called for, the writing?
I really haven't in a while. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, I couldn't really give you an honest answer about when it's called for. Like I said, there's some stuff where I just pick up my phone and I'll write down a few lines. I don't do it the old school way and get a pen and paper. I just write it in my phone and I'll remember them 2 lines. If I think about it and I'm like, yeah, that's hard, but I don't know really incorporate it in the song yet, I'll write it in the phone. And then I might freestyle some words and then I might look down at the notepad and be like, all right, I'm gonna use these for my next bars. These words that I've written down.
Ever had help with your lyrics?
Yeah, for sure.
In what ways?
When I was with a couple producers and stuff that I vibe with, they've had ideas and, they said, hey, bro, you should do this, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever the case is, you know what I'm saying? Whatever situation that we're in the studio and they telling me to stab it a certain way or like do the ad-libs like this. I ain't gonna say they just wrote the whole song completely, but they've showed me like, areas that's might be, it's just more catchier, I could say. So I always believe in, a team effort if you really have a vibe with that person. You know what I'm saying? They're really creative and they're into the music just as much as you are,
Ever helped other recording artists with their lyrics?
I have nobody like major, but I have been in the studio and, I vibed out with people and, I gave them certain words or, just like a quick little summary of, just a quick, when we was vibing, listening to the beat, like I'd be like, yeah, bro, like I'd be nodding to it and I might say something and they might pick up on it, They might just like the melody and the flow of it and they might add their own words, but that's what music comes down to. Most of the time, like nowadays, it ain't just about the words you're saying, it's about the rhythm and the melody and the vibe of the whole structure of the song.
But never wrote a song for someone before?
Never like flat out just wrote, no.
When it comes to your own personal lyrics at this point, how honest are they?
They're pretty honest. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't rap about shit really. I don't do, you know what I mean? Or I did, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just raw, it's real,
You said pretty honest though. Does that mean there's a percentage that isn't 100%?
Every artist might, when I was younger and stuff like that, I might say that, I'm getting money, but I might say that, I'm making M's or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? I might over-exaggerate on stuff like that sometimes, but it's just the consumer's ear. You know, they like to hear stuff like that. I mean, it's the entertainment business. Every artist is gonna over-exaggerate sometimes. I mean, it just is what it is. It don't mean they necessarily 100% capping. They just in the vibe, they in the moment. You know what I'm saying? It's entertainment. You know, just let it come out freely. But I mean, but primarily, you know, I base everything off of, you know, my lifestyle. For sure.
Ever wrote or freestyled and punched in a lyric so honest it was requested to be removed by someone?
Nah.
What has been the hardest bar so far?
Hardest bar.
You ever said, you ever wrote?
Man. That's a tough one right there. But
And if you don't know the hardest bar, maybe just me asking the question, a hard bar comes to mind. Something in your music collection.
it's like I'm not even trying to even think of it too hard, but it's just like hard to get out. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be honest, I just like let the people like really listen to my music and just go to it and kind of get their own feel and their own, you know, perspective about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like to even say that this is what I think's the hardest. I kind of want just the people just to listen naturally. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let's ask the audience then.
Yeah.
If they know the hardest thing you've ever said so far, drop a comment and place those lyrics.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Now, from start to finish, what's the average time, the average length of time, I should say, you spend on creating a song? Rough estimate.
Man, it just depends. Like, rough estimate, maybe like 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? It just depends, like, what type of mood I'm in, what type of mode I'm in. How if I like the beat, you know what I'm saying? Like, the beat's so fire, you know what I'm saying? Like, I might just catch on to it quick and I might ride up a hook in 5-10 minutes, you know what I'm saying?
Now, I'm going to use this term loosely because you do freestyle and punch in, but there's a term for writers. They call it writer's block. Stuck on a thought, stuck on an idea.
Right.
When that happens to you, whether you are writing or freestyling, punching in, I said I'm going to use that term loosely. How do you cope with that thought, though, that idea there?
Writer's block, I mean, I don't
phrase.
overthink it too hard, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's happened to me where I'm just like, I'm really vibing with a record, you know, I'm in the studio by myself, locked in, I got a fire hook, but the verse ain't. You know, usually a lot, you know, the verse does come naturally, but there has been instances where it ain't just came out. So I might just have to go take a little time off, a little smoke break, roll me up a good one, you know what I'm saying, good wood, and, you know, take some more sips, what I like to drink, my drink of choice, you know what I'm saying, like rosé, champagne, and just get a little slizzy, just get a little buzz, and I might come back in there and like 20 minutes later and figure everything out. So it just depends. Or if I'm not in that mode, I might go to sleep for that night and just get back to it. And the next day, I might have a whole different thought process. But, you know, all the time, if I like the record, if I like the beat, I'm going to finish it. You know what I'm saying? So even if it takes some more time, hey, it don't matter. It's going to get done, though.
And that's marijuana you smoke.
Yeah, I don't smoke cigarette.
Now, what's the longest you worked on a song, stopped, and ended up finishing it another point of time?
I'd say about like 3 days. 3 days for sure.
You don't have one of those stories where you worked on a song, stopped, and then 6 months later you finished it, or a year later you finished it?
Nah, not that long.
When you did write, whether it was on the phone or actual pen and pad,
Yeah.
ever lost lyrics?
Lost lyrics?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have actually before. I've definitely lost lyrics. Like I didn't. I mean, one time like my notepad like had crashed. I don't know, like caught a glitch, and then I didn't have everything auto saved in my email, and I lost like a slew of stuff that wasn't backed up to an email. So that was like the only time, but it's happened, you know, for sure.
How'd you cope with it?
I mean, I didn't sweat it too hard, you know. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, you're a good artist, and you know, it's gonna come back to you. You know, it might not come back word for word or everything that you written down, but the vibe gonna come back once you press play. Once you press play on that beat or when you start recording, it's just gonna come back, you know?
Was it discouraging?
I mean, a little, because I feel like, you know, my thoughts was fresh, and then sometimes I was in the modes where I was like, I feel like I was really writing some good shit down. You know, I lost it. I was like, damn, like, I thought that was good, so it's either like I gotta, even though nobody's heard it, uh, I gotta come up with something a lot better, you know? So I challenged myself.
But never quit over it?
Nah.
Have you ever gotten emotional creating or recording a song?
Never like a bad, sad emotion, nah. I don't really, my whole, you know, if I had to categorize myself, I don't really, when you mean emotional, do you mean like sad, just any type of emotion?
Shed a tear?
Shed a tear, nah, because, I mean, I thought about it when I was young, you know what I'm saying? I feel like things wasn't working out the way I wanted to work out, but musically, nah, because I'm not really like a struggle artist in that category. You know what I'm saying? I like a lot of struggle music, like Ride Wave and Derez Shine, and I mean, there's some artists out there that I think just got super good music. You know what I'm saying? But that's not where I categorize myself. So emotionally, nah, I can't sit here and say I really like shed like a tear in a record.
Well, sometimes it doesn't even have to be struggle music.
Yeah.
A person can endure some type of death, and they make a song about a person that's passed away, and that can lead to an emotional song.
Yeah. Nah, I don't have no records like that.
When it comes to producers, you find them or they reach out to you?
It goes both ways. I mean, I've had a lot of producers reach out to me on Instagram and send me beats to my email, and they be dope. One a producer I worked with, I got an actually personal relationship with. His name Bricks. He's got a lot of placements with Thug and Gunna, Baby. He actually introduced me to Baby when we did our song Sadly Mistaken. I did a song with Baby in 2017. It was dope. We shot the video, a little in studio video, and it was a good like experience meeting him and seeing how he records. And my boy Bricks he's a real good producer, makes a lot of placements, and I reached out to him initially. So that was like back in 2012, 13 when we first met. But he's actually, you know, sent me 5 beats that's not all over the internet, you know, and exclusive beats, and gave me some relationships too.
When it came to that Lil Baby feature, was that a paid feature at the time?
Yeah, it was a paid feature at the time, you know what I'm saying, for sure. And, you know, I mean, I ain't gonna disclose the amount, you know what I'm saying, but it was definitely worth it. And because after I did that song, he just had dropped like My Dog, and it was started buzzing and bubbling, and after that, he just went to the moon from there. So, and Baby's still a cool, humble dude, you know. I every time I see him, he show me love and shake my hand, you know. That's why it's always important to have your relationship strong in the music game, you know, and really remain humble. And, you know, your relationship is gonna take you really far. You know, you have the best music in the world. If you got a fucked up attitude and burning your bridges all the time, you're gonna be out of there.
When it comes to Lil Baby and his success that he's garnered up to this point, did you see this coming at all?
Yeah, I did. I definitely did, because I listened to his first mixtape that he dropped. Like, I forgot the name of it, but he had that song Grinding on there. And it wasn't even like the main song on there, but it was one of my favorite songs on there. And I was like, yeah, as soon as he dropped My Dog, started buzzing, and we got with QC, I was like, yeah, that boy out of here. Like, he had that music, he had that fire music for real. And, you know, he's the biggest star right now.
When it comes to producers, you prefer them cooking up something from scratch, or you like to sift through a folder of their beats?
Both. Like if we in the same room together, I want to, you know, when they got time and I got time, and you know we both, you know, vibing and bonding real good, I want to create something from scratch. If they already got something in a folder, you know, and then they just be like, what type of beats you looking for. You know, some producers just throw all the beats in one folder and they just kind of just play it, you know, go down the list, and it might be a whole different type of genre or feel, or, you know, but I usually like to talk to them and they tell me what type you're looking for. And, you know, they'll play it based on wherever they organized that in their beat folder.
Is it 50-50 for you, or do you notice that you do sift through more folders of beats than producers cook something up from scratch for you?
I say right now it's more me sifting through things, for sure. I ain't vibed out with a producer like one-on-one in a minute, not since Bricks.
How long do you have to listen to a beat before you know if it's the right one for you or not?
In a matter of seconds. As soon as it'll load, I'll hear the melody coming in, you know, and when that beat drop, I mean, I already know from the melody if I'm gonna like it. I'm like, all right, I want to hear the beat drop. As soon as that beat drop and the melody aligns, I'm like, yeah, this is the one.
Have you ever passed on a beat for whatever reason,
Mm-hmm.
and it ended up becoming a bigger song for someone else?
No. Mm-mm.
Ever had a beat pulled from you after recording to it already?
Yeah, a couple times. I mean, songs that I've kind of like, you know, beats that I've released on the internet that, you know, was off of a beat site, you know, and I've heard other rappers, you know, on little platforms like post the same beat, you know, like on Say Cheese or something. I mean, but you can't get discouraged about that because you just released it. You didn't buy exclusive rights, and, you know, that's important. You know, like if you really feel like you got a hit on your hands, you got to handle your business and, you know, get a hold of that producer and spend that money and be like, I want to buy this because I want it exclusively to me. Or, you know, shit like that's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is.
But you've never been in a situation where it was a non-lease situation and maybe a producer's letting you hold some beats, play with them, think about them, maybe you record to them, and maybe you say to a producer, hey, after some time has gone by, I want this beat, and they'll be like, no, you can't use it, somebody already bought it.
Yeah, it happened one time, I can recall. I mean, it might have happened other times, but it was somebody I really listened to this one beat. I forgot the name of the producer, but he produced for a lot of people in that for LA, the Boom Man's label, Authentic Empire. Like, I reached out to him and he said he already had sold the beat, and I really wanted the beat, but it was a lease at first, but somebody else exclusively bought it, so yeah, I couldn't use it.
When it comes to your music, is there an overall message with it?
I mean, it's different vibes, you know, it's different situations, and it just all depends on what the song, what I cooked up in that hook in that song. But I mean, I just talk about lifestyle stuff and just, you know, just hey, being drip, getting you some money, you know what I'm saying, staying down, grinding, hustling, you know. I mean, that's what a lot of the stuff revolves around. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Who is your music for?
I mean, it could be for everybody. It could be for everybody.
Is there an age minimum to listen to your music?
I mean, I wouldn't just strongly suggest it to no, like, you know, young kids, like, you know, 13 and under and stuff. But I mean, it's the internet's so big now. I mean, everybody has access to everything. So yeah, I'd say that in that sense. But I mean, hey, I mean, who am I to say that? Because like I said, the internet's so big. There's 4 and 5-year-olds on now accessing whatever they want to access. It just is what it is, you know? So, I mean, you know, of today, since 2021, I'd say it's for all ages, you know?